The thing about the Golden Age is that it's not a new concept, it's something that's been around forever. There have been other Golden Ages that have existed in the history, not just of mankind, but of the universe. And that the Golden Age in our time today is a result of the present age, which is what we would call the Iron Age or the Dark Ages, as everything is becoming more and more dense, less freedom of movement, less freedom of intellect, less freedom of spirituality. So we realize that at this time, as things become closer and closer to the end, obviously it's time for a new age. So the Golden Age is about where the evolution or the maturity of soul has become. One thing about the Golden Age is to realize that it is the beginning of something new, a brand new cycle, a brand new way in which soul is going to continue its journey back to its creator. In the Hindu religion, they teach about the different ages and call them yugas. And they will have a golden age, and then a silver age, bronze age, and then an iron age. And in today, we're considered to be in the iron age. One of the things about golden age or the silver age and all is that each one represents a distinct manifestation of energy and ability of the individual soul to express itself and manifest itself. And from the Golden Age being the most available, the most able, to the Iron Age being the least available or the least able, means that the ability of soul to move about in these worlds is far more limited. As an example, today we live in a world where everything we do is just to sustain our life. We really don't have freedom. We really don't have an ability to move around. But in the Golden Age, we have a much more natural age. The earth is closer to us. We're able to interact with it. It tends to supply us with the things we need. And soul gets the opportunity to have the time and energy and environment to pursue its own spirituality. So it's said that the Golden Age was first and lasts for so many thousands or millions of years, and that it's about almost half of the cycle of the entire 4 ages. And what the Golden Age does is an age that grows and matures to where soul can realize the perfection of itself, not just here in the physical world, but perfection of itself as in its emotional state and its causal and mental and intuitive self. So that soul is able to realize a more full and completeness. And the Golden Age begins, say, now, and eventually matures and grows until it reaches this zenith of perfection. And for a long period of time it goes through this cycle where souls are drawn to these worlds in order to manifest that particular state or stage of their development. So the thing to know about the Golden Age also is that it is not built on the age prior to it. So we don't try to take and build on the Dark Ages to try to make the Golden Age. The Golden Age itself is brand new and is unique unto itself and is actually the original cause or the original cycle. So if we were to look at this Dark Age that we're in, we can see that it's becoming more and more dense, less able to move, more rules, more laws, less freedom for the individual to live and express itself. So that age will, if we do not pay attention to it and we learn to move away from it and into a Golden Age and recognize that as unique, this old age will just collapse on itself and die away. So it's important to know that this Golden Age being unique and ready, and that the people who are here, souls that are here, are ready now to participate in the manifestation of this Golden Age. The Golden Age is a gradual unfoldment to the freedom of soul to know itself. It gets away from doctrine and religion. It becomes full of love and mercy, full of ability to accept all other life, so that it enables it to accept its own life and its own destiny. The Golden Age allows for the soul to begin to perceive the unlimited life that it can live, and also presents this age in which it begins to learn to express and know itself in this unlimited way. The Golden Age is also an age in which soul begins to recognize its own divine nature. And it realizes that the purpose of life is to live. And the Sadhan paradigm creates this environment and spiritual understanding so that soul can take this understanding, or this Golden Age, and act upon it and live it in a way that allows it to grow and unfold till it returns to itself fully aware. So also the Golden Age is not at all like the Dark Ages in that the Golden Age requires personal responsibility. Without this personal responsibility, no soul will be able to stand on their own and do their own. But the other thing that's most important about the Golden Age, which is the very crux of the Golden Age, is that it is the age of the creative flow. And the creative flow basically is like the feminine consciousness, where it is giving birth and giving life constantly over and over. And it's not rigid and it's not full of laws and rules, but it's actually an attunement, a melding of the soul with the very nature of spirit and the very nature of the creative flow. And so the Golden Age is a very creative age. It's based on that, and as a result, all things are allowed to be. All things are nurtured, and all ways or all expressions of the self come across as being important and real. The thing too about the Golden Age is that each soul is unique and different in their own way, and has a unique way of expressing itself. Soul needs to have that freedom to express itself. It can't express itself and be who it is or what it is if she's limited to all these rules and regulations. Rather, personal responsibility doesn't need rules and regulation. The quality of the soul of the Golden Age is this love and mercy. The love being the result of its harmony with life, and the mercy being its awareness to allow all life to be what it is and doesn't need to interfere. Soul in the Golden Age is concerned about its own spirituality, its own growth, its own maturity. It's not interested in the welfare of others, as the Golden Age tends to. We all take care of each other, but we all know how to also learn to take care of ourselves. And our journeys now become more meaningful because our journey through life isn't about survival, all of the things. Our journey through life is about living, is about experiencing. And we begin to expand and become aware not just of this world, but of all of these other worlds that are out there throughout not just this universe, but in all the spiritual planes, that so have an opportunity while here and now to learn about them and begin to experience itself on these different worlds. Without the Golden Age, soul's ability to be creative is reduced. In the Silver Age, soul is said to have about 75% of its creative ability, and in the Bronze Age about 50%, and in this age that we're moving out of, 25%. And 25% just doesn't get it done. Soul needs to have that complete ability to totally be free to express itself and define its own life and to realize its divine nature. And it can't realize its divine nature if it doesn't have a world in which it can live and a world in which it can express life. Souls who come into the Golden Age, what they do is they are ready for the Golden Age. They're ready to understand, they're ready to, they have the greatest capacity to grow. Souls that are more prone to come into the Silver Age are not quite as evolved or matured as those in the Golden Age. So they will, but they need an environment that is more suitable for them. Souls of the Golden Age are more suited for the Golden Age. Souls of the Silver Age are more suited for the Silver Age and wouldn't be as able to take advantage of the Golden Age because they haven't matured or grown enough. And the same with the Bronze Age and then the Iron Age. And Iron Age is the age of where life is limited. Certainly the creativity in life is limited way down. And also life on these ages become more dependent on things outside of themselves to make up the existence or to make up what they're not able to produce in themselves. And the ultimate goal of the Dark Ages is to bring all of it into a complete standstill. And then from the standstill, then it creates the need for a new age. The new age again starts off as the golden age, and the cycle begins again. The cycle that we're in is we're moving into this golden age. And the reason that we're bringing this golden age is because there are so many souls who are now ready to begin their journey home. What that means is this. If we go back to the beginning of creation, what we would find is that soul as it's created is created what we would as a piece of the divine. This piece of the divine has all of the potential of the divine, but it has no wisdom, it has no knowledge, it has no experience, it has no way of defining this. And so part of the journey of soul is to go through and learn piece by piece, moment by moment, life by life, what it's all about. And it may start off in water, mineral, it may be plant life, but eventually grows and begins to understand and comprehend the fullness of life. And ultimately, along the way, soul becomes realized. It begins to realize that it is. And once it realizes that it is, then it has to realize how to live life. This golden age provides the perfect opportunity for souls who have matured to that point to live the maximum amount of life. It is the nature of soul to live the maximum life and to live the most wondrous and absolute great life that it possibly can, because it's a piece of God. And why would it do anything less? You see. And also the golden age is the age in which these kind of concepts are available so that soul can really begin to realize its own divine nature. Prior to this, in darker ages, it's always kept in the dark and it's always considered less than. Here, soul's going to have the opportunity to really know itself and know its own relationship with the whole of all of creation.